I can understand from the first sentence of the Prime Minister's speech is that she is looking to a more smaller picture about K-pop. She said that it affects the youth. I'm going to disagree with that, but first and foremost, a very good day I've been to Mr. Speaker, honorable adjudicators, every precise timekeepers, worthy opponents, loyal teammates, and members of the floor. Now today, we're going to debate about whether or not K-pop is a bad influence, and as the opposition, we are disagreeing about the motion. Now, moving on to my definition of the case of the motion. Now, the opposition has said that they said that K-pop only influences the youth. Now, let's try looking at the bigger picture here. K-pop does not, any pop culture at all, does not only influences the youth. It influences the whole society, the way the society thinks, or the way that let me rephrase that, sorry. The way that society thinks. Now, we strongly believe that this is not just limited on the youth, but we are agreeing on on the other meanings presented by the government. Now, moving on to the stance today, we strongly believe that K-pop culture does not bring much bad influence that the government has said. It's more of a good influence that they bring. Now, we as the opposition today expect the government to bring up points to explain why K-pop is a bad influence. Why K-pop is a bad influence, and we as the opposition will tell you why K-pop isn't a bad influence. Now, before that, I want to rebut the arguments presented by the Prime Minister of the government. Now, first sentence that she said about this argument was plastic looks. Now, plastic surgeries happens everywhere. It's not just limited to Korean culture itself. It happens everywhere. Western country, you don't even know how much operations they go through just to get that wonderful look, that perfect face. Now, other countries also, the celebrities from other countries also undergo plastic surgery. So you cannot say that only Korean cultures do. Now, moving on, you said that the students will have problems to focus on their studies. Now, you said that you believe that there is quite a number of students that are influenced by K-pop negatively. But that means you're jumping to a conclusion here. You're just assuming that the number is large. You can't really confirm it. And even if you say the number is large, you can regulate it by enforcing school rules that are stricter. Now, that is all my rebuttals for the Prime Minister's case, and I'm going to move on to my own rebuttals, my own arguments to explain why K-pop isn't a bad influence. Now, the first thing you think of K-pop, what do you think of? Of course, Gangnam Style. Of course, the music. And now, as a music listener, what aspects do you see music? You hear music from their lyrics, you hear music from what message they present, and so on and so forth. And I'm emphasizing mainly on the lyrics here. Now, if you heard some song lyrics down in an unfamiliar language, you have that curiosity to go and search up the meanings of the lyrics itself. Now, that curiosity is actually a driving force to let us look in depth of the language itself. It introduces us a new language, in this case Korean language, and by Korean language, by adding a new language such as Korean into your repertoire of communication, into your arsenal of weapons of communication. Language is weapons of communications. And with that additional language in your repertoire, you can actually become a global citizen. Now, what do I mean by global citizen? Global citizen is an individual that can adapt to more places than an average person. Now, why they can easily adapt? It's because they can easily communicate with the society there. And even if you possess simple knowledge about the language itself, it is actually sufficient for one to easily communicate with the society, society that speaks that language. Now, moving on, if you know more language than an average person, you actually have more job opportunity now. Why? It's because you have a big advantage over everybody else. Like, in my friend here, you just know like 2 or 3 language, but I know Bahasa Melayu, English, my mother tongue, or Korean. I actually possess a bigger advantage at getting a job. Now, relating back to the motion itself, K-pop influences others by creating a curiosity within creating a curiosity to their culture for the audience to see. In this case, language. Now, for that, I want to emphasize that learning a new language, especially for youth, is so much more functional. It's so much more beneficial to one. And with that, I rest my case. But I want to clarify that we stand firm that the definition for the government here should not be just limited to youth. And for that, with my own arguments, I show you why K-pop isn't a bad culture, isn't a bad influence. And with that, I strongly believe that there are more good influences than bad. With that, I stand firm on my stance to oppose the motion today. Thank you.